Hello everyone, this is The Lock, and this is the 5th podcast of Skeptic Wars. Alright, let's just get right into it. Russell Crowe film Noah edited to appease Christians upset by historic inaccuracies. Apparently some Christian groups are upset with the new movie Noah that I believe it just recently came out, that it apparently, according to them, is historically inaccurate. And by that I mean it doesn't hold true to, or it's not exactly like the way it is in the Bible. The way the movie isn't exactly like it is in the Bible. And apparently, and the film is inspired by the story of Noah, but it's not exactly like it. And well, you know how Hollywood is; they can't exactly make um films exactly like the way in a book. But apparently they're calling it historically inaccurate when, I believe most skeptics are probably laughing at that and saying, well, isn't the whole story itself historically inaccurate? Guys, I gotta say, this is kind of it's just who can say what they want. I'm probably not going to see it. You can go see it if you want to. I mean, honestly, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Ten Commandments, starring oh, who was it? He was in. Oh shoot, I can't even think of his name right off the bat. I know who he is. It's a very famous actor. All right, well, never mind. Next one. Architect of North Dakota Takeover returns properties to town. This is from the Southern Poverty Law Center. And apparently Craig Cobb, who is currently sitting in jail and is on trial for for assault and carrying around a deadly weapon and stuff like that, who wanted to make a very small North Dakota town and turn it into basically a place for white racists, has returned all the properties he's over to the town. All the property he owned in town back over to the town, which is that's very good. I mean, this essentially kills whatever dream he was trying to make. And maybe the hopefully this will keep racist out of that town. And obviously it shows that when racists try to take over a town, it just doesn't work. People fight back, and eventually they have to. People have the racists have to just give up. All right. This one's from Skeptoid. Oil pulling revisited, where the danger lies. And this is over the past few days on the social media sites, especially Facebook. There's been a bunch of basically people making posts about oil pulling, and apparently you're supposed to use something like coconut oil or something like that, and they're making a whole bunch of a few statements about oil pulling is true, like for example, it will help improve your oral health a little bit, but really just brushing your teeth and flossing and using mouthwash, like Listerine or Scope, it'll do it much better and better job, and do it much quicker too. And you know, it's basically just and they're also with oil pulling, they're making a whole bunch of claims about it that isn't true at all. They're making a whole bunch of health claims about it that's not true, and you know, this is typical of alternative medicine. And you know, that's where the danger lies. It's claiming that it can detoxify the body, and you know, and oil pulling is not going to detoxify the body. Your liver and your kidneys do that. But you know, some people might try to use it for that and other health purposes, when reality is they don't need it. And you know, in the end, it might even, I mean, you're supposed to put something like coconut oil in your mouth for about 20 minutes, and I can imagine doing that, honestly. I mean, that just seems like a big waste of freaking time to me. And like with all other alternative medicines, people think this would work to make them healthy, might try to do this and forego doing real stuff that makes them healthy. Alright, here's the big one. The Australian Anti-Vaccination Network changes its name. I say that's the title of the story, not what I gave it. It's just what they said. The extremely controversial anti-vaccination group Australian Vaccination Network is finally going to change its name, and this has been going on for about 2 years now, I believe. That 2 years ago, the Australian Vaccination Network was told to change its name, and it's finally going to do it. It's finally going to do it after, I guess, losing multiple court battles. And the reason why it's doing it is because basically some sort of I guess you could say commerce heads down in Australia said it was an extremely deceptive name, and you know, they basically went to court over it, and got a court order to have the AVN to change its name. And AVN, of course, fought it in court, and they lost every time. And finally, they're going to do it, and they're changing their names to it. It's still, in my opinion, a pretty deceptive name: the Australian Vaccination Skeptics Network. And what can I say? I mean, really, I would prefer Australian Anti-Vaccination Network. That would be the most accurate name. Or the Australian Giant Idiots Against Vaccination Network. That would be an even better name. But, you know, can't do anything about it. You know, the judge actually suggested Australian Vaccination Skeptics Network, and, well, that's what they're going to go with. Alright, the disappearance of Flight 370. And this is about, this is from Skeptophilia. This is about the flight of, disappearance of Flight 307, Malaysian Air Flight 307, which has been happened over a week ago now. And it's basically just talking about all the different BS news stories about all the weird stories about what may have happened to this plane and its passengers. And at this point in time, they don't know what's happened. There's a strong suspicion that the plane itself was either sabotaged or potentially hijacked. Where it was taken to, no one knows. But unfortunately, no one knows what happened to it. The best guess right now is that it's probably sitting in the bottom of the Indian Ocean, unfortunately, and everybody who was on board that plane is dead. I really hope that it was hijacked and that it was taken to some secret location, because at least that would mean that everybody who was on that plane is probably still alive. And if they are, they could be rescued, um and they can't be rescued. I mean, if I was going to send somebody to rescue a bunch of passengers from a hijacked plane, I would send Israel in, because they've done this before. They did this, I believe, back in the 1970s in Uganda, and they got almost everybody. Back in the 1970s, there was a plane that was hijacked by some terrorists, and it was taken to Uganda, and the Ugandan government was holding them essentially hostage, and I think they were holding them for ransom. I'm not sure the actual details, but Israel said F you, and they went in there, and they got everyone out. Well, almost everyone. I think maybe one or two of the passengers may have died during the rescue operation, but who knows what's happened to this flight. Unfortunately, everybody might be dead, and, well, maybe they'll find it. Maybe they'll, but, hopefully they are still alive. Maybe they were taken somewhere. Alright, next one. Evangelical Christians want access to more corpses to hone their raising the dead skills. I can't even tell you how creepy this is. And apparently there's this team of fundamentalist Christians called the Dead Raising Team, and they're from the U.S. naturally, who claim that they can bring people back from the dead, and they claim to have brought 11 people back to life, which honestly, I'm not sure if he's being delusional or BSing, but they're claiming, but they want access to corpses in order to hone in on their raising dead from the grave skills. And I'm like, wow, I can't even begin to describe this without cussing. Okay, like, this is just beyond absolutely the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. I mean, who in the world? I mean, it's possible that a person could be dead for a minute or two, and with modern medicine, with modern life-saving skills, modern CPR skills, you can bring them back to life if you're fast enough. In fact, I actually know a guy who was technically dead on an operating table 4 separate occasions, and, well, I mean, technically dead. Apparently he wasn't actually dead, otherwise he wouldn't be here, but apparently, but these people are claiming that they can actually bring a person back to life simply by, I guess, God, I guess. Who knows? Alright. This one's about Cosmos, and I hope you watched, which premiered on, last Sunday night, which I watched and I loved it. This one's about Oklahoma Fox station cut out mention of evolution from Cosmos. Apparently there was like a 15-second mention of evolution on Cosmos, and Fox station in Oklahoma cut out about 15, cut out that part, and apparently well, they're claiming that that was a complete total accident, and they didn't mean to do that. A lot of people aren't buying it. They think that was just well, you gotta understand. There's a lot of shall we say devout Christians and fundamentalist Christians in Oklahoma, and quite frankly, and it's much more probable that they cut it out just to appease the people there, so they wouldn't offend anyone. And unfortunately, they offended a lot of people because it got out to the media and the world, and and now they're being they're being they're getting complaints about that, which they should. Alright, last one. This is also about Cosmos. Creationist slammed Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos for blind thief and scientific theories. I'm like, I know every skeptic's heads are just rolling right now. I'm like, blind faith? You're upset over blind faith, and yet, I mean, his is scientific. I mean, Cosmos, the stuff on Cosmos is scientifically accurate stuff, and these people are claiming that the whole thing is about blind faith. I'm like, don't you guys have blind faith? Isn't the whole basis of religion itself blind faith? It's amazing what some people say. Well, that's it for this week. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I know I did, and I hope to see you next time. And happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.